So I've gone ahead and made a new character. It's currently level 93, and the reason I did this is I wanted to show how easy it is to put a raider together running Shield Crush, and both are it's both easy and it's also very affordable. I switched from my leveling setup onto like an endgame build, which is still very cheap. You can see I'm using the Princess here. That's for the 30% fist as extra cold damage. It is corrupted for increased area of effect. That's because I'm pretty good on accuracy. Otherwise you can just forego the corruption and then you can pick it up for next to nothing. Then I'm using Crimsorrow. This is to take care of the conversion from fist to cold, so I don't have to bother with it anymore. And then I need +1 to frenzy charges on them. I paid 1 divine for these because +1 to socketed gem, so it was a bit more costly. We're a league into, well, not a league, we're a month into the league at this point, just as a reference for pricing. But in case I wanted to test something further, I just got these. But 1 divine for this, the Princess, 10 chaos maybe for a corrupted one. Then I picked up a 6-link Direct Defiance, not corrupted. Decent roll. This was 1 divine. Then Aunt Anguish with the Hatred corruption, not a perfect one, but still pretty good. This was 1 divine as well, so these 3 are 1 divine total each, so 3 total. Relocation Patient, that's around 100 chaos for a roll like this. Replicate Badge of the Brotherhood is less than a divine. Then there are some rings here. If we take the helmet here, it's probably like half. So if we take the helmet, amulet, rings, and relicash, let's say 3. So we're at 6 now. Then this is a pretty good version of Empress Vigilance. You don't need the crit resistance corruption. But let's say overall up here 7 divines total. The flask is just for bleeding and corrupted blood, these 2. And then for the sake of argument, I'm running just 2 blank flasks here, just for the movement speed and the crit. And then a Taste of Hate. If we're looking at the passive tree in here, I have a pretty good lethal pride in this socket here. That's because I need to solve Intimidate in some way. I paid 1 divine for this, so now we're looking at 8 total invested into this character. Then there is a Radule, a Radule, a Radule, a Radule, and a Radule. And then Seething Fury, because it's kind of needed in order to solve the crit chance. If we're looking at defense, I'm way overcapped in some departments because I haven't put that much time into balancing the character. I don't have enough chaos resistance. I'd have to look into that. You can see if I scroll down here, I have a stun avoidance above 100%, meaning I'm immune to it. There is 28% here. You can get to 36 if you take this one up here. And then you can allocate 10% tattoos here on dexterity nodes. So I've sacrificed 80 dexterity, that's why it's so low, in order to get above 100%. Then you can see I have 100% chance to avoid elemental ailments. This counts as the alternate ones as well. I have 20% from the life cluster here, 20% here from shield mastery, 50% up here, and then there's 10% because I helped Creighton in Act 2 for another 10%. So that's 100% getting to the immunity stage. This one up here, the reason I waited until level 93 to record this video is I need all of the nodes you can see here allocated. But at level 93 I have 8 points free in order to allocate the cluster out here and get the 2 dual sockets. This is to get a little bit more defense on the block, and because of glancing blows, if I hold down Alt, you can see it doubles these chances. So this is plus 60% chance to block spell damage and plus 6 to attack block. And then this is just because martial prowess is good. This is probably the most expensive item on the build right now. I made this myself on my first character, so I don't really know the value of it. It's probably pushing the build plus 10 divines right now, but you don't need this one. You can go with another 8 passive ones here, and then you can allocate life nodes. You can see I don't even have the mastery with 50 life, but it solves a lot of problems for me, and I had it laying around. But yeah, that's the quick over of the build. If we go into path of building here quickly, you can see it has my DPS at 6 million for one wave, so if we overlap it, I'm sitting at 12 million damage on single target right now, which is mighty fine for an investment this low. I prepared a map here, Crimson Temple. You can see it's 8 mod and corrupted, and then I'll hopefully not make a fool out of myself for running this one here. I want some extra maps, hopefully some tier 17s, and I'm running Exarch. Yeah, that's fine. And if looking here, you can see the tree. So there is some maps. I blocked most content, and then I have permanent Delirium because of Unending Nightmare, and I have Beyond in all my maps as well, but I don't spawn bosses. And then I have all the exact nodes, because Delirium ends whenever you spawn a boss, so that's why I blocked those. Also, this is a boss rushing setup, so I'll be jumping straight to the end, and hopefully just triggering Exarch influence on the way, and killing the boss, and then preventing the altars from spawning boss modifiers. So I'll get some more value from them. And oh, I forgot to see if I can show it in here. Yeah, the Pantheon. I'm immune to burning ground. This is important for running Exarch, and because I don't have a plus to my maximum elemental resist, I'm using Solar Lunaris, because whenever I get hit, I get 6% additional elemental damage reduction, which comes in quite handy. But you can see the map here. I have a very strict loot filter, as you might be able to tell. But this is the content I want to be able to run. Before we knew how tier 17s actually felt like, this was my benchmark for a build, because then I knew I would be able to farm currency and content, and if I was able to run this, then I would probably have a shot at running the tier 17s as well. So yeah, no altars yet, unfortunately. Also, don't have any. I haven't gotten any maps yet, which is a little disappointing, but hopefully they'll show up later. But in general, just see how solid the build is, and mind you, the price tag of, well, the large cluster duel is probably pushing it above 10 divines, but aside from that one, you can put it together for less than 10, what you see here, and then you just pour more and more currency and time into the build. You get some extra levels, and then the character will start scaling really well. Also, I don't have, I have a level 21 shield crush gem because they were so cheap, so I felt it was okay to grab one. Oh yeah, I don't have a perfect setup for my gems anyway. Let's see here. let's try the chaos one. I don't have enough chaos resistance for this, so I might suicide myself, but that quantity was so nice. I just have to rely on evasion and block to keep me alive, and then I'm not in the negative with chaos resistance. Also, chill and freeze is a surprisingly strong defensive mechanic, and then when you pair it up with block, you get some quite nice numbers. I'm not immune to reflected elemental damage, sadly. Yeah, I don't need flask charges. Because I haven't put in an awakened elemental, I don't know, elemental damage with attack gem, again, in order to keep the budget low. But if you can run content like this, then it shouldn't take too long for you to get the currency needed to find some extra upgrades. Yeah, getting a decent amount of maps, which is nice, but no tier 17s. Hopefully it'll show up at some point. But yeah, I hope that this gives a pretty good feel of, like, you saw how long I could stand still. That is ridiculous in this day and age, really. But it's just a very strong combination of things, and the synergy is very strong for the build. So yeah, 18 monsters left. You see here, so 200% extra physical damage as chaos from nearby enemies, and still the build is just running well. But yeah, I hope this gives some insight to how you can put it together. So not an amazing map, but still fine, and I got some more maps to run. For the links, I'm using Shield Crush, of course, and then Multi-Strike. And this one is actually not that good because I only have 8 charges. So it's only 32% more damage, so you can do a little bit better with another one. Fortify, well, it's just needed in order to get it. I don't have the passive points to try and cheat it on elsewise, and I don't feel like relying on this 15% here to fortify. It might be enough, but I don't want to count on it on single target. Then Malefice and some cold penetration. You can also see this is a pretty low level because I just slotted it in fairly late. Sitting at 835 tooltip here, and just mind you, the cold pen is not counting on this one here. At an early stage, if you don't have access to a Badge of the Brotherhood, you can use a rare amulet, or you can use the replica Dragonfang's Flight. This is actually very strong because it gets you to a breaking point with level 24 on Shield Crush. And then there is a little thing to pay attention to, because now Endurance Charge and Melee Stun is very bad, because down on 4 charges right now. Also, these nodes over here, they won't be doing very much because of the low number, so I would allocate these two. Getting up to 5, that means we're only 5 endurance charges down. And not 5, only 3 down from 8. And the damage is very good still, but you're sacrificing some tankiness. Also, the extra fortification stacks is quite substantial from replica badge, but you don't need replica badge to run tier 16s. This is when you want to push into tier 17s and onwards. But yeah, so I hope this gave some insight, and yeah, so thanks for watching, and take care out there.